The Safe Communities Act, and I spoke about this on the floor at length. It's meant to create these safe spaces, these off-limit spaces. That includes hospitals, churches, shelters, schools, where ICE will allegedly be prohibited from entering for enforcement purposes. And my point was, a lot of those places are where victims go for shelter or for their own sanctuary. So victims go to shelters, victims go to hospitals, victims seek refuge in churches, right? And those
Right.
types of environments. And now we, in essence, are telling criminals, oh no, you can go there and you will receive sanctuary because we're going to protect you there. So we are actually shoving criminal migrants into the same spaces where their victims traditionally go to find their own safe
Yeah,
space.
it's
And that's what that bill's
it's
about.
a
Tragic.
it's a building a safe harbor,
Mhm.
for illegal aliens.
Correct.
I know the schools aren't normally where ICE would operate. However, that is where MS-13 will operate. You will have MS-13 members that are 16 years old, 17 years old that will be in these schools, and it might be necessary because some of these people are rapists and murderers of the worst type. Uh, we know there have been incidences where they have lured kids into the woods, they've shot them, they've just done awful things, murdered them. And these are all teenagers. And these are kids that will be in these schools uh, with our own children, with our kids. Um, but they will get safe haven there. So, so that's the Safe Communities Act. There's the facial identity one. And this is this is probably the funniest one of all.
This one is beyond ridiculous simply because it violates the supremacy clause. We do not regulate as state legislators. We do not regulate federal operations for what they wear, how they operate, how they conduct business. We have no control over that. We pass laws that control state government. We are not congresswomen and congressmen. That is not our function. And every time a state, and we just saw what happened in California, every time a state tries to posture and pretend as if they have control over this, they lose in court. And the
Yeah.
amount of money, of taxpayer dollars that are lost every time for the big show, for the big performance, as if we have any control over this, is absolutely unbelievable. And in the meantime,
And
what we are doing is we're actually, causing havoc amongst our own law enforcement because they have a bunch of carve outs in the bill. Well, if you're undercover, if you're here, if you're there, and they know, the state legislators that wrote this bill know it's wrong, know it's dangerous, know it's problematic. And it was a big show to pretend for their supporters as if they're doing something, when quite frankly, they can't do anything. There's nothing that a state legislator can do to regulate how the federal government chooses to equip their federal officers conducting federal operations. It's as simple as can be. It's cut and dry. A small child could understand that. Unfortunately, members of our own legislature cannot.